Hello and welcome back to KTB Creates. Today we will be going through 4 more very affordable Christmas DIYs. So let's go ahead and get into crafting with DIY number 1. For this DIY, I took 2 of the Dollar Tree ornaments that I had in my stash, along with this little sign that I had picked up from the Target dollar spot earlier in the season for $3. So I'm going to start out by removing the tags and taking off that metal piece on that ornament, setting that aside because we are going to hot glue it back on later on. I am going to use the back of these, so there's no need to worry about getting that paper off. And then I also have these stickers that I purchased at the Dollar Tree, and I love them. I've been using them a lot. So we're going to use them just to dress up the ornaments a little bit. So here I'm just measuring to see how much space I need to be able to add those stickers as well as the Believe wording. And then I just tape off where I want to paint. So I'm going to paint the stripes in a white, and then I'm going to do like a faux wood finish on the opposite stripes. So all I'm doing here is just taping off accordingly and trying to be as even as possible with my blue painter's tape. Once that's complete, I went in and added my stickers. Now you can see I did start painting the white a little bit before I realized, but you want to add the stickers first before you go ahead and paint because we're just going to paint right over those stickers. Now, if you're into that glam style look, these little stickers are beautiful and you can leave that as is. But obviously, if you know me, you know that I'm into that farmhouse look. So I'm going to paint over them. So all I'm doing is measuring them and adding them on the spots of the ornaments that I just want it to dress up a little bit. And now you're ready to go ahead in and paint. You want to make sure that you cover these really, really well. So you just want to make sure that you're painting in and out of those little rhinestones and the pearls and all of that. I didn't add the stickers to the last piece, in case you're wondering, because I'm going to kind of glue the ornaments together and overlap the one onto the other, so it's not necessary to do that. And now I'm going to go into and start doing that faux wood finish that I enjoy doing. So once your white paint is completely dry, you're going to then tape off your white paint and paint the faux wood look. I do this by using 3 different acrylic type paints. So I use burnt umber, caramel, and a mocha color from Apple Barrel. And I just kind of blend it all together. I don't let any of the colors dry, so I continuously keep adding in shades until I'm happy with the way it looks. And here I'm going to show you just a little bit of a close-up so you can see what I'm talking about. You don't have to do like full complete coverage with it because again, you're going for that faux wood type of a finish. So all I'm doing is as everything's wet, I just keep mixing in the various shades of brown and caramel until I'm happy. And now I'm just going to go in with my word and I'm going to just stain that with some Waverly Antique Wax. It's obviously a piece of wood, so I liked the finish of that. So that's all I'm going to do here. If you do have this piece, you just want to make sure that you get the sides and everything and be super careful with it. It's pretty delicate. And you'll see I actually ended up breaking off the one piece of the bee, but I was able to salvage it, so it's no big deal. Now we're going to go in and I just decided to add a little bit of an extra touch with using my mica powder that I got from Arteza. This stuff is amazing and you can add it to almost any project. Just adds a little bit of shimmer, so pretty. So I'm just using some Mod Podge. You mix it in with the Mod Podge and I'm just adding it to the areas that I did that faux wood look on. And like I said, it just adds a really simple, beautiful touch to the piece. And then I'm all ready to add my word to the ornament. So you'll see this is like kind of like a sticker. So there is an adhesive on the back of the words, but I wanted it to be a little bit sturdier and more permanent. So I am adding a little bit of hot glue to the back of it and sticking it right on the middle of the ornament. And you'll see here how I did break off that tail of the bee, but I easily kind of fixed it and just glued it right in there, and you can't even tell that it was broken. So definitely be careful with this piece if you have it. And then you're all set to hot glue that metal piece right back onto the top of it. And now we're gonna finish up the piece and kind of glue them together so that they lay nicely, so that you can hang this in your home. And then you do want to secure the back as well, just for some added security. And then all I did was I took a strip of twine and I just attached it to both of the signs to be able to hang it from there. And then I just dressed up the top piece with a little bow that I made out of some ribbon. And I decided to go ahead and string some little bells to hang on the second ornament. So that's all I'm doing here. I'm hanging them in very varied lengths on the ornament and just tying in a simple knot, and your sign is good to go. I did hot glue that piece to that ornament just like I said, for some more stability. But basically this project is done and I absolutely love it. I think it's a very high-end type of a look and something very easy to do. It's a beautiful farmhouse type of a look, and I am just so happy with how it turned out. So you have to let me know which one of these 4 DIYs is your favorite, because I always love to hear from you guys and it always interests me to see what everybody thinks. And also I wanted to invite you to leave in the comment section what kind of DIYs you want to see in January and February, whether you're interested in home improvements or certain type of room decor like laundry rooms, or I don't know, bedroom decor, anything you guys want to see. Feel free to let me know in the comments section below. For 2021, I will also be committing to posting a new video every Wednesday. So let's get into DIY number 2. So I am using one of these little snow globes that I purchased at the Dollar Tree. Here I'm just going to remove that twine bow at the bottom of it, and then I'm using my heat gun to remove the sticker from the back. I know a lot of crafters talk about their heat guns and how amazing they are, and I have to agree, I absolutely love this. I stole it from my husband and I now call it my own. And I actually did remove the sticker from the front of it as well, because we're just going to paint it, and I just wanted the front and the back to look finished, so I did both. And then I'm taking some burnt umber apple barrel acrylic paint, and I am just going to paint 2 coats of that on the front and back, as well as the sides. And now I'm using these amazing stickers again. I hope I can find them in the Dollar Tree again, but definitely grab these if you do see them, because they look so beautiful when you use them to decorate. And if you can't tell, I am designing a snowflake here basically. So I'm trimming and cutting the little rhinestones to make it look finished. And here I'm going to add those 5 little rhinestones in the middle. So I'm going to cut the strip and just take those pieces. That's what I'm showing you here. And I'm applying all of it to the little the backing sheet, just to make sure I'm happy with the design before I go ahead and add it to the ornament or to the snow globe. So that's kind of why I'm doing that. It was just to play around with it before I made it a permanent fix. And then once you're happy with how the design looks, you can then just take that off of the backing piece and apply it right to the center of the snow globe. Now I wanted to dress up the bottom of it a little bit, so I decided to go in and use a leftover cookie sheet that I purchased at the Dollar Tree, And I'm just going to cut that, in the shape of the bottom portion of the snow globe. And we're just going to hot glue it right on the bottom of that. And again, if you like the whole glam style look decorating, these beads, rhinestones, I don't know what you would call them, they're so pretty. So you could definitely leave this as is. I think it's a really beautiful piece. My decorating style and everything I have done in my home is more of a farmhouse type look. So that's just to my liking. But all I'm doing here is just taking some of that apple bear paint, the burnt umber paint that I had left over, just doing the edges of the tin just to make it look a little worn and rusted. And then I'm going to take some white linen chalk paint and I'm going to paint over the rhinestones and just kind of get in the middle of all of that, just so it's not like super sparkly. And then I'm going to dry brush around the whole little snow globe. And I'm all about using what I have on hand, and I had some extra Epsom salt mixed with glitter that I hadn't used. So that's all I'm doing here, applying a nice layer of some Mod Podge, and then I'm just sprinkling on the Epsom salt, and there's glitter mixed in there just for a nice, cute added touch. And let's go ahead and take a look at the finished product. On to DIY number 3. This one is super simple. So I collected these little jars. Pear slices come in them. I got them at Walmart. It's a Polar brand, but they're little glass jars, and I absolutely love the shape of them and the design. So I've been buying them for my son just so I could reuse these glass bottles. So all I am doing here is, again, I'm utilizing that Mod Podge mixture with my Champagne Arteza mica powder, and I'm just mixing that together with a couple spoonfuls of the mica powder in with the Mod Podge. And it just adds like a nice shimmery effect to it. And you do want to make sure that you mix this really, really well, so there's no chunks of the mica powder in the Mod Podge. And then all I'm going to do is take my brush and I'm going to apply that to the bottom, I guess, three quarters of the jar. I'm going to leave the top blank for now. And I tried to be as neat as you could, just because you could see the lines a little bit once the Mod Podge dries. But I did do 2 good coats of that. And then I took the Mod Podge and I did the top half once that bottom half dried, because that we're going to use, again, the Epsom salt and glitter mixture and just add some decoration to the top portion of that little glass jar. And now it's time to just decorate it a little bit and just spiff it up. You could definitely leave it as is and use it for more of a winter decor for the whole season, but I wanted to dress mine up for Christmas, so I'm just hot gluing some cute little plaid ribbon to the trim of the top of the jar, and then I made a really simple bow with that same ribbon, and I'm just hot gluing everything to the top of it. I then decided it needed a little bit more, so I went in and added a tiny bit of greenery along with some red berries that I love to decorate all my pieces with. And I also used one of these tea lights that I got when I purchased the paper houses from the Dollar Tree. And here is it all finished. It is so adorable. And this specific tea light that I have changes colors. So it's, I think, red, green, and there's a blue. And it just looks so pretty in this little jar, because it's kind of like a frosted look. So it's not, you can't tell that it's a tea light in there. So it's so pretty. And then for our final DIY number 4, we are going to use one of these wood panels that I got from Arteza. These are really beautiful, guys, and I do actually have a coupon code for you that is good through January 13th. But these are absolutely beautiful to use for decor, and you can even sell them because it's such a high-end look. But I'm taking this fat quarter that I had purchased at Walmart. I actually had this from last year and never used it. And I'm just kind of trying to cut where I get like 2 full red trucks in that little indentation, if that makes sense. And then I flip it over and I just mark it where I need to cut it with a Sharpie. And now I'm going to take this that I also purchased at Target for $3. And it's that, again, it's that wood that just like that Believe wording. So I'm just kind of measuring and making sure everything's going to fit in that frame and everything works well. Then once I did that, I went in with some chalkboard paint and I painted around the edges of the indentation as well as that whole frame. I also painted the back of the frame as well because, again, I just wanted everything to look, finished and complete. So make sure you get all the sides as well too. That's all I'm doing here. I did 2 coats of this. And then I also decided to go in and paint the numbers. So I painted the numbers in black, and then I'm going to paint the word December in white. For the black, I'm just using the chalkboard paint because I already had that out. And then for the red letters for December, I'm going to paint those with my Waverly chalk paint in crimson. And it did take me, I think, about 3 coats of this to get like full coverage on these little letters. And I did make sure I went in and did all the sides of the letters as well to make sure they were fully covered. I didn't like it plain with just the red, so I did go ahead in. I'm showing you here how I just dry brushed some white chalk paint onto them. I did that with the December, and then I actually went back in and did the 25 with the white dry brush as well. And now you're ready to apply your fabric to the center of the frame. So all I'm going to do is apply a nice even thin coat of Mod Podge, and then you want to apply a really good coat to the back of the fabric. And you're going to stick that right in the center. And you do have time to work with it and kind of adjust it and make sure it lays out perfectly. And then you want to go in with another pretty thick layer of Mod Podge on top of this to make sure everything stays in place. Okay, so once that's all dry, I went in and I wanted to season, I guess that's what you would call it, the chalkboard paint, because that's the reason why I decided to paint with the chalkboard paint, because I wanted it to be a little bit of a worn look. You could leave it like this. I did that and then wiped it off a little bit just so, again, it has that worn type of a look to it. And then you are all set to apply all your lettering. Now, before I did that, I didn't like it wasn't completely finished edging. So I did decide to go in with some thick twine that I had, that I purchased at Walmart. It's a lot thicker than the Dollar Tree twine. So I did go in and I edged out the fabric with that just to give it a little bit of a finished look. And once that's done, you're all set to go ahead and hot glue all of your letters and numbers onto the frame. I tried to center this as best as possible. You should probably mark the frame so that you know where to start and end your letters. I just started from the middle and then worked my way out to the edge of the frame. And then you'll see here, I didn't yet apply that chalk paint to the numbers, but this is what it looks like with the chalk paint applied to the numbers. I feel like it helped the numbers stand out a little bit more against that red truck fabric. And all I'm going to do is go in and decorate the corner of the frame with some greenery that I purchased at Walmart and some leftover pine greenery, and I'm going to add a little buffalo check bow and some mini pine cones. And then this project is all done. I absolutely love the way this one came. I think this is probably my second favorite. It was kind of a toss-up between the first DIY and this one. So I'm curious to hear what you guys all think. So definitely let me know, as always, in the comment section below. I also wanted to mention, please, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and consider clicking on that subscribe button and tapping the notification bell so that you receive all the notices every time I upload a new video. Like I said, I'm hoping to do that weekly every Wednesday in 2021. Also, just to give this piece some stability, I'm adding some of the Jenga blocks to the back of it just so that it doesn't tip over too easily. So I just applied 4 of them, as you see here, and I just hot glued them all together. And here is the piece all finished and ready to go. I am so excited about this holiday season. I hope everything is going well for all of you. I will be posting one more Christmas video. Next week will be a compilation of all of my Christmas DIYs for you to enjoy. And then following that week on the 29th, I'm going to do a special collaboration with a bunch of your favorite YouTube crafters, and we are going to do the best DIYs of 2020. So definitely look out for all of that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining me again today. Like I said, if you haven't already, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this video, click the like button because it definitely helps my channel grow. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Take care, and I'll see you all soon.